Hey everybody, welcome back to my story salon. I'm Clyde Always, I am the Bard of the Lower Haight, and this is an original poem entitled The Fetchinest Dog in the West. On a sparkling Saturday morning it was, at the park in the town by the bay. That's where hundreds of hipsters and hounds were abuzz, saying, "Shucks, what a fetcherous day." It was fetch they were playing, but not did they care as they lazily shuffled their paws. Any frisbee that flew would fall out of the air, then would dangle from slobbering jaws. But the winds seemed to shift when two strangers appeared and the crowd went abruptly alert. With this deafening silence a path then they cleared, making way for Georgina and Gert. Now, Georgina the human, a gambling gal, she extracted a wad from her vest. $50 says, she uttered while stroking her pal. Gert's the fetchinest batch in the West. Such uproarious laughter went all through the park. Every collie retriever in pit, plus their masters were snickering. Some heard to bark, "Oh, that squirt probably couldn't fetch shit." But Georgina, she didn't back down on her bet, which some challengers offered to call, but they barely had time to say ready or set before Gertie was back with the ball. "All right, double or nothing," the challengers cried, as they added more bread to the pot. Bet your pooch couldn't wrangle one hard as she tried if it out of a cannon was shot. So they wheeled out a big iron gun to the grass and then covered their ears to the sound, and kaboom went the cannon, and Gertie hauled ass and she fetched up that 20-pound round. Now, Georgina, she didn't get cocky or brash when that cannonball fell at her feet. She just humbly reached out to scoop up her cash after tossing old Gertie a treat. But then came a wager too rich to believe from this billionaire scientist guy. He insisted that Gertie could never retrieve a big rocket from out of the sky. But Georgina defiantly told him, "You're on." Little Gertie had started to drool as a launch pad was swiftly prepared on the lawn and the spacecraft was loaded with fuel. All the crowd counted down as the ground seemed to shake and they gawked with the peepers agog when that rocket took flight. But there, right in its wake, rose that fetching, indomitable dog. Scrappy Gertie, she chased it clear over the sun. In a minute they'd flown out of sight. Then the scientist started to brag that he'd won after waiting 2 days and a night. But Georgina just scowled and smirked at this crook. It was bold how she deigned not to speak, and she'd secretly started to feel a bit shook after waiting the rest of the week. But then suddenly rang out this howling gale. To the cheers of the folks underneath, there was Gertie descending and wagging her tail with that rocket crushed up in her teeth.